What's up, guys? This is Fonzarelli Fellhand, and a big shout out to my fell-handed finessers and finessettes. We are on Steps, or as some folks call it, Steppies. And we are on Encounter Battle in the Remmental Panzerwagen Tier 10 German light tank. Now, this game, guys, is all about chasing damage. You know, have you ever been in a game where it seems like, whatever you do isn't necessarily amazing or bad? It's just meh. You can't get to the damage, or you're in a heavy tank and all the action is on the other flank or what have you. This is that exact situation. I decide to go ahead and run a right flank over here to maybe spot some guys that my greens can fire on them. And I look back, and we don't really have hardly anyone going to the cap but me. It's only the objective. So I decide to go ahead and turn around here because there is literally nothing else for them to shoot at but little old me. And guys, you never want to be in that position where you're the only target, especially if you are in a slow moving tank. Your heavies, your mediums, your slower mediums, what have you. You don't want to be the only thing taking fire. That's a rock. Moving on. Now, as you can see here, guys, now we're starting to get a little bit of guys going towards the cap. They're like, oh, hey, there's some folks over there. Yeah, no kidding, there's folks. Now, granted, the one line is normally where all the heavies go to duke it out, so I can't necessarily fault folks for going to that direction, but at the same time, you do have to send something towards the cap area. As of current here, we're just going to kind of ride the mid to see if I can pull some assist damage. But the Reds are really doing a very, very good job of turtling up, not really getting a lot from this area, and being lit up probably by a medium light tank posted up somewhere in a bush. But you know what? That's exactly what I'm trying to do, so I can't fault them for that either. Now, as you can see here, Reds have a really, really strong presence there on the one line, as well as the Greens do. So, my question is, whom is on the cap? What is going on over there? Are we getting the leftovers over there at the encounter cap, or are we getting, they're tough fighters? So, and at the same time, I don't necessarily want to go in and really give it a good sweep. Also, guys, I'd like to take a moment to pause. As you can see here, this is pulled, not necessarily pulled from Twitch, but I was streaming at the time. I don't necessarily want to commit to a Twitch schedule, kind of like I did in the past, because I'm not going to honor it. But I am going to try to stream every time I play tanks. So just, keep an look out for that. The link to the Twitch channel is below. Now, back to the game. As you can see here, the Greens are just whipping the tobacco juice right out of the Reds. There's nothing they can do at this point. And here I am chasing damage. I'm looking over there, seeing to the left what's going on. That guy's in trouble. I'm going to go ahead and shift right. Now, however, I can't just go down in here and go crazy because there is a high number of bad guys down in here and not enough green guys. We've got 3 to 4 holding the rear line right there at B8, B9. So if I go charging in there, it's going to end in tears. So we don't necessarily need to do that. We do just need to peek over, see what's going on, tap somebody, farm them from the rear there. The downside is, though, we can't go in there wholesale, not yet. It would be very foolish of me to do so. And that is kind of the downside. I would much rather, even if it's a hit to my my amount of damage put out, I would much rather conserve my health for my tank than just go out there and risk getting shot up. That's kind of the player I am, and that's kind of what I am, would like you guys to turn into, to where, you are more concerned with what's going on with your health than the enemies. We put a shot there on the side of the E5 as we were rolling. Somehow it bounced. Possibly it deviated to the turret. I don't know. I would like to say that this particular vehicle does not do very well with shots on the move. It is not a clutch shot king like the Troll 100, which is an amazing tank. We've got a heat round loaded. We put it right through the superstructure and finish off the Yag. We still have heat loaded here. We're going to see if we can't make a run on this E5. Managed to connect there. I would hope so. Going through the side of that bad boy. He takes a shot at me, and it is not going to happen for him. We're going to go ahead and scope this. Track him just like I wanted to, and he only has eyes for me, as you can see here. He fires into the Hulk, and we're going to go ahead and somehow put a round into him there. Well, you know, in theory, I should say. Moving on. The Reds don't have a whole lot of options. We go ahead and make an excellent clutch shot there into the side of that gentleman. And right now, when we're kind of coming into our own, the match is nearly over. And this is the downside. This ends up happening sometimes, you know. And I find, guys, this is kind of the issue with your heavy tanks. If you go to one of the two primary push points, you either get rolled or there's not enough damage over there for everybody to share. You know, there's just a couple of guys eating instead of everybody. So it's kind of the same situation. I just don't have a lot of these with the medium light tanks because, you know, with the medium light tanks you either do fairly well or you get murdered. There's not really any in between, and this is kind of an in between match. You're chasing damage especially. Now guys, if you've seen my no scoping videos, that's exactly what I'm doing. I decided you know, when the best time to auto lock him was, and I was going to track him the rest of the time, but you know, the DPM on the gun kind of prohibited me. Guys, really hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you guys next time.